Over the course of time, man-made structures get recycled, torn down, burned to the ground. And the tools we use to construct grand buildings are the first things to disappear. But some structures are so large that they fight against time by leaving behind the subtle traces of their existence. Pyramids. All around the world, pyramidal structures have baffled historians. And though the pyramids of Egypt are the most easily recognizable, we wanted to see if our techniques of finding structures all over the world would reveal if this part of Spain might also have ancient artificial pyramidal structures.
Hola, soy Manuel Abril, nos encontramos en la cima del Cabezuelo, una colina en la Vega de Cañete que siempre nos ha llamado la atención, sobre todo a los del pueblo.
One of the ways we could tell that this mountain, or this pyramid mountain of Mojaca, is artificial is that in the 1500s, a huge earthquake devastated the structure and half of one side collapsed, revealing on the inside layered steps.
Piedras. Hay distintos tipos de piedra aquí arriba,
Aquí.
en lo que es la cumbre de...
Sí, ya lo intentó alguna vez. Vio que era una estructura artificial y dijo, pues vamos a ver qué hay dentro.
Esta cara vemos que es una pirámide escalonada, en gradas, que más o menos tiene 1,40 metros cada grada. Esos 43 metros de altura, dividido en 1,5 metros más o menos,
Pues
estaríamos hablando de cuántas gradas. Tú eres de aquí, tú has nacido aquí, ¿no?
No, yo he nacido en Valencia,
En Barcelona.
porque se ve todo el valle liso y aquí una verruga.
¿Ves, Manuel, que esta piedra se ha subido desde abajo? Porque las dimensiones que pueden ser 1,20 por 1,20 más o menos.
Esta piedra es caliza igual. Ahora falta saber si tenía más encima o no. Yo pienso que por la cantidad de piedras que hay alrededor de la montaña.
Puede haber incluso una construcción de madera.
Luego un poquito más a la izquierda, allí hay un dolmen hundido pero enorme. Aquí las piedras son de 200-300 kilos y aquí ya hablamos de miles de kilos. Empecé a encontrar cosas fuera de sitio, cosas raras, y lo más raro que encontré de todo pues era esto, porque estas piedras, está claro que ahora la estructura se ve claramente, pero antes de que se quitase la tierra ya se veía perfectamente. De hecho hice una maqueta hace más de 2 años que ahora se demuestra que sí que es como yo decía. Entonces pues eso, hace 2 años yo comuniqué a la gente que yo pensaba que iban a tomar cartas en el asunto. Por lo menos la de abajo está enterrada todavía, es una estructura artificial y además es maciza de piedra. Con el peso que tiene, la montaña, una montaña de tierra no podría soportarla si no tiene los cimientos. No se sube 40 metros sobre el suelo para hacer un caserío, con terrazas, que en principio yo pensaba que había 3. Encontramos en la cara este, de las 4 caras que tiene, es la cara en la que más asoma o más se ven la estructura sin necesidad de excavarla, en la esquina superior, la esquina norte. Aquí vemos una piedra y si miramos un poquito más arriba tenemos justo el hueco donde falta esa piedra. Es una piedra que pesará unos 2.500 kilos y esto demuestra que toda la estructura está hecha a base de megalitos.
Hello Megalithomaniacs and welcome to the megalithic city of Tarragona, just south of Barcelona in Spain. But the thing is, although this is a Roman town officially, a much earlier megalithic culture existed here and built remarkable cyclopean walls.
Now it was Richard Casara, I must give him credit, who introduced me to this site, told me all about it, because all around this town we have these megalithic platforms, this lower level, covering the whole city with a later Roman construction on top. Now it was thought to be built by what they call the Iberians, but more likely it was an earlier Bronze Age or Neolithic megalithic civilization of the Mediterranean, like we find in Italy, Greece and other places. Into the city, actually going underground, steps down in some cases, much like we find at sites like Alatri in Italy, which you can kind of go in. Now, you're probably not supposed to, but we're going to have a little look anyway. from it now. This is incredible. It really is quite something. I mean, considering it's been blocked off and you can't go any further, it looks like it slopes down as well. So, and we know there are underground features here at Tarragona, or Tarraco, and so this could well be one of the entrances into this underground area. So here we are, right inside this megalithic entranceway at Tarraco, or Tarragona. And they blocked it off obviously here, but this would have gone right into the structure, possibly down into the earth. But it's just like being in like West Kennet Longbarrow or a giant's tomb in Sardinia. It's incredible. It's surrounded by these gigantic blocks and it feels really good in here. The entrance is perfectly north, or just a couple of degrees off north possibly, and it is just a remarkable experience to see 6 of these gates. One of them's blocked up, the other ones are all kind of closed, but you can see inside them. Was this one, you can kind of come inside. They put a little fence there, but that's it. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed looking inside this particular one of the 6 that surround this huge town built of megaliths at the foundation level. Although, as we see in this area here, they climb higher, the walls do, in certain parts of town, suggesting there may have been more of this cyclopean construction surrounding the town. And I hope you've enjoyed our little look around.
Non un barco, non solamente una struttura. Y la zona de Cádiz está llena de objetos, de estructuras en sitios que solo podrían ser habitables antes de la última glaciación. Miles de años. En un tiempo cuando nos dicen que el hombre estaba dibujando.
Las cavernas.
Sí.
Las cavernas.
Sí, sí, sí.
Y en esa época en la que el hombre estaba en las cavernas, con las pinturas rupestres, nos situamos ahí, hay ciudades, una ciudad muchísimo más avanzada,
Sí.
con un tipo de construcción con columnas y con elementos muchísimo más avanzados tecnológicamente, coincidiendo temporalmente con ese otro mundo.
Exactamente. Y estamos hablando de muchísimo tiempo, entonces los restos que estamos descubriendo.
Because it showed that there were enormous artificial structures in this area with a mysterious past.
I think if you're going to build an artificial mountain, you have to have a pretty good reason to do it, because it's a lot of manpower here. I mean, it's an exceptional amount of manpower here. It would take, let's say, 1,000 people, 10,000 days to build this. So you have to be very clear that you want it. And it's like an enormous barge, and you're carrying something terribly important there in the hold of your barge as you fly through the sky. Absolutely fantastic.
If this land suffered a series of tremendous cataclysms long ago, it stands to reason that the surviving and re-emerging civilizations would have built on top of ruins which still stand here. Our lives are determined by the limited years a single human lives, but together we form part of a much larger picture. By piecing together the clues this landscape holds, we can begin to understand just how ancient humanity really is.